The scam usually starts before you even touch the ATM. Steve here, another on the ground video today in the series Scams. Today we're talking about ATMs. I will put this in the playlist with the other on the ground scams videos. Got 5 in there already, gonna go up to about 10 or 12 in this series. Now, step 1, recognition, the setup. You're at the ATM and somebody is hovering nearby. And this is the helpful or friendly local. They're not there to help you, they're there to help themselves. We talked about this person, I believe it was in episode 3 or 4. Now, the person points at the machine or they say something to you when you're in the middle of a transaction. They're trying to distract you. That's the setup. When you see that, your only move is to stop. Stop your transaction. They're not alone. Their role is to distract you, and their partner's role is to steal your card and or your money. So it's a tag team, and it's classic misdirection. You'll find these at ATMs near nightclubs or in transport hubs like bus stations, and by isolated ATMs that are a little bit outside of the core where there's not a lot of people. It's a lot easier to prey on people there. The distraction is the scam. Step 2, shut down. What to do? Use ATMs inside the bank whenever possible, always during daylight, and be aware. Dial up the SA, the situational awareness. Be aware of everyone and everything around you. And as I said, if you're interrupted while you're doing a transaction, stop the transaction. Cancel it, take your card, take all your valuables, put them on your person somewhere safe, and walk away and get to a crowded area where there's a lot of people around. You don't want to be dealing one-on-one with these scammers. They're probably not going to hurt you, and this isn't skimmers or card readers or anything like that. This is very low tech. Someone's going to distract you, someone else is going to try and steal your card and or your money. Never accept help from strangers at ATMs. I will say there was one exception. I was in Puerto Viejo in Ecuador, and I was about to use an ATM, and there were 2 guys, and they had a bunch of tools and a truck and uniforms, and they said, we're the techs, we're here to work on these ATMs. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but they were saying they're not available, they're offline. So even if they were thieves, they were telling me to go somewhere else, which was awesome. I think they were legit, but you can never be too sure. So never accept help from strangers at ATMs. And the moment someone inserts themselves into the transaction, that's the moment you know, shut this down, cancel everything. As an aside, I have a friend up here in Canada who was doing a transaction at an ATM, got a phone call that was very important, and that distracted them. They ended up forgetting their card in the machine, and the person behind them realized, oh, this is still online, let's see how much money I can take out, and basically robbed them. That was all on camera, and he had no recourse in Canada. So it's a bit of a different scam, but distraction was the key, and it was a phone call that he had to take. And the bank had no recourse for him, nothing. Nope, sorry, you're on your own. Now, step 3, DACO, or damage control. If something happens, if your card is compromised or there's a problem with the transaction, report it immediately, either to the bank and or the card issuer, depending what card you're using. Let them know this card has been compromised, there's a problem with it, please shut it down, and they will immediately. Then move to a safe location, secure all your valuables, and make sure you're in a well-lit, if it's nighttime, which again, probably don't be using the ATM at night unless you absolutely have to. Make sure that you're in a safe place surrounded by other people. I always carry backup cards separately. I never use a wallet down there, so I'll cover that in a different video to let you know here's some of the tips that I use. I'll give you a bonus tip. If you are using the same ATM on the same day at the same time, unless it's inside a bank where there's cameras and there's guards, probably stop doing that, again, in the developing world. Why am I telling you that? Because somebody is going to be watching you. If you're using the same ATM at 10 a.m. every Tuesday on the street, no matter where it is, someone's got you on their radar. Like, they were there 2 weeks in a row at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Bet they're going to be there next week. Me and my friend are going to see if we can separate them from their card and or their money. So what I would say is use a couple different ATMs, again, as outlined above, in crowded areas, ideally inside the bank, but if that's not possible, don't use them on the same day at the same time. You want to be unpredictable. I will share stories after the series is over in the bonus episodes where I talk about people following me out of the bank, or when I leave an ATM, they're following me on the street. And I'm very aware they're following me, and there's a way to deal with that as well. Now, if your card is compromised or there's a problem with it, just remember, speed is more important than anger. Report it as compromised or whatever the issue is immediately. Don't get angry about it, just take the action to get things sorted out. I've had my cards blocked in the States, in Florida, at a Walmart, because somebody thought the card had been compromised. It was me trying to make a purchase. Good times with that. I'll share that story also in the bonus materials. Now, to close, most ATM scams, and really most scams, are about divided attention. It's classic misdirection. Like a magician. Hey, look over here, what I'm doing here, because they don't want you to look over there. That's government, that's media, that's corporations, that's everybody. As soon as somebody's trying to tell me where to direct my focus, I'm directing it in the exact opposite place because I know there's a reason they want me to look over there, and if I'm not looking over there, maybe I see what the reason is. If you can protect your focus, you can avoid most of these scams. If you got any stories about being scammed in the third world, especially around ATMs, please post them below. Comments, questions, same thing. I will throw this episode in the On the Ground playlist for scams. Episode number 6, still building that resource out. If you haven't seen the earlier ones, please check them out, especially if you're in the developing world. A lot of these scams don't exist the same way in the developed world in the West. These are very low-tech scams. They're very simple, and they work pretty much the same way in all the countries that I've been to in Latin America and Southeast Asia and some other parts of the world. So that said, hopefully that was helpful. Comments or questions, drop them below. Stay aware, stay safe, and I will see you out on the ground next Wednesday.